I want to take this opportunity once again to welcome all Jamaicans from home and abroad. Welcome to the Lenny Robbins YouTube show. Watch what they do. It's important to remind people that we have to make an effort now to start knowing our politics, and so we can create a better understanding amongst us all by watching what they do. I want to really jump onto something here because I will never get tired of saying this or doing this kind of show, because this is my intention. I've heard people bashing the JLP, people bashing the PMP, and saying all sort of stuff about the PMP and all sort of stuff about the JLP. I've also looked at a couple of bloggers online on YouTube. Understand? And who are not sitting with the JLP or sitting with the PMP. But this is something I am aiming to change. I know it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a hard road, a long road to travel. It's going to be tough to get people's mind to change, because the psychology of the politics has already wrapped people's mind up, wrapped around people's mind in such a way that we are all divided. Who is on JLP side and those on PMP side, and those in the middle who call themselves independents. You can swing an election both ways. Well, my concern right here is to make sure that we try to get people to start to understand that we as a people have to now start to come together. We have to come together about the politics if we are serious to make our lives better. It is important for us to do so. I listen to people I read some headlines in the YouTube. It's crazy headlines. When you read a lot of these headlines, it's telling you that it's all about sensationalism. Damon Crawford, this Prime Minister. When you read the context, I listen to the context of what Damon Crawford is saying, that has nothing to do with the disrespecting of the Prime Minister. But to just capture people's attention. Even us bloggers, we're out there putting out sensationalism headlines. And I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to all bloggers on political issues in Jamaica. It is time for us also to realize that we play a part in how divisive our politics is. We do play a part in all of that. We can also play a part in bringing the party together. Because it's something, and I ask you again to think about it. How can these two parties be good for the country if none of them is actually, if they can't come together and work on one thing for the betterment of the country? Then what are you telling me? It's like you have two men in your life as a woman, or two women in your life as a man, and each of them is telling that they are best for you. What are you going to do? The only thing you can do is embrace them both. So you may choose the one you think is best, and it's not, and that one is not doing anything that the other one is not doing it. Our problem started way back in our time when we got independence. The divisiveness of the politics started from when we got independence. And what is happening now in our politics in this 21st century is so bad. It is so bad. And if we take a close look, just stop for a minute and listen to all the fans talk, and just take a look, lift the curtains of politics and look behind it, and we will clearly see that our politics is rotten to the core. It has no heart. It's losing its purpose. It's moving away from the reason why it was even created in the first place. This divisiveness has got to stop at some point. We have to, and we have to realize that if we don't force government into some form of coalition and some form of understanding, some form of joint venture, some form of bipartisan effort on behalf of the country, not on behalf of some PMP or behalf of some JLP people. Because all the corruption we're talking about, Andrew Wallen's government is the most corrupt government. There are people benefiting from that corruption. And both people on both sides of the fence. There are JLP people benefiting from it, and there are PMP people benefit from that corruption. And the same thing goes when PMP is in power. JLP people are benefiting from their corruption. And other people are benefiting, and PMP people are benefiting from it also. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, I really don't know, but like I said, it's really a deep concern for me. I'm quite positive, quite sure I'm not the only one saying this. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Until someone runs me off this YouTube platform for repeating the same thing. I'm going to keep saying it, because this is the only way Jamaica is going to benefit. This is the only way we're going to benefit from politicians. They have to come together. We have to force them to come together to do something. They can come together to do something for the country. Right? They're trying to make reform to the Constitution. a bipartisan effort to do some reform or some adjustment to the Constitution. No, Bart Golden is telling his people, don't sign a contract until such and such a week. Don't sign the agreement for us to move forward, because we need to get all things together. When you read the article, what is he talking about? When we're talking about the reformation of the country, and he also wants to have the CCJ issue at the same time done. I mean, you need both things to be done at the same time. You agree on that the PMP doesn't, you agree to have both things done at the same time, that's fine. The JLP doesn't agree to do it. Why can't both parties come to an agreement and say, all right, let us meet halfway? Because whose lives are we playing with? Whose interests are we playing with? It's not your interest, Mr. Golden. It's not your interest, Mr. Wellness. You guys are playing around with Jamaica's interest. The people of Jamaica, the people of the country, the people's interest, you guys are wasting away. So I don't want anyone to tell me that PMP is any better than JLP. JLP is no better than PMP, and PMP is no better than JLP. They're all two bullshit political corrupt party in the country. And it is time we speak the truth and stop dallying around this damn blasted cycle to cycle stupidity with these two parties. If we have no intention of bringing them together and forcing them to do something for us, then listen, this blogging thing on the PMP, we are cuss out PMP and cuss out JLP, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's all great when you come and point us, oh, this is what the Prime Minister is doing and this is what he's doing. It's all well and good when we do that. But for a fact, it's not going to work. It is not going to work, because that won't help solve our problem, our political problems. And ever since politics was introduced in Jamaica from our time of independence until now, these parties are at loggerheads, ideological. They're trying to be. Right? And the difference between them is now becoming so thin a line. I don't see why people are still running behind these parties. Oh, the PMP is this and the JLP is that. None of them is anything. None of them is anything. They're just as corrupt, they're just as immoral, they're just as a do-nothing party as anything. Prime Minister announces a whole range of infrastructure development across the country. All right, turn the country into a first world country, Mr. Prime Minister. What are we producing to sell to the world? What kind of service we have to produce to the world? How are we going to become competitive? What kind of user fee are you going to pay some people to make back your money for all of that infrastructure investment? But we're not doing anything to enhance that, or to support that infrastructural development means we are expanding our productive capacity. We're hoping to expand on our production capacity. Make it easier to move goods between point A and point B, all of these things at a less costly rate. That's what the whole infrastructure development should be about. Making all these announcements and we don't see where it's going to help us other people. What are we doing? What are we saying? I can't emphasize this no more, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaicans, we need to watch what politicians do. We need to watch what they do. And I've said it before. If we don't watch them, we won't know what they do, and we won't know what they're not doing. We have to watch them. We have to take the time out, because it is our interest now. I want to know, can someone come on this program and tell me, when the Prime Minister or Minister of Finance announces that there's that 5% growth, economic growth in the country, when there's a 5% economic growth, tell me, how does that help people? When job creation is not increased, the cost of electricity is the same, the cost of water, the cost of transportation, the cost of medicine, everything, schooling, education, everything is the same. But you have a 5% economic growth. And how does that help the people when the cost of everything remains the same? I got offline this morning with one beautiful Jamaican, and she's telling me that, oh yes, it is all well, it's all good in Jamaica, because people are now, she see people are growing and people are developing, and the country is developing. Developing where? I asked her the question, how many teachers have left the country in the last 5 years? How many nurses have left that country in the last 5 years? How many university graduates have left the country in the last 5 years? She has no official record of it. What is happening is that Jamaica is now into what is called an existential crisis. So when people get to that point, or a country get to that point, anything they do has to be effective now. So people are in that crisis and people are doing things to help themselves. No, not next week, not next year. I was told of one example with Damon Crawford where we went into a community. And he made a promise that he was going to try and put in place a system or something to help people to get one person out of every household to go to university. First, can I ask, what if no one wants to go to university? Because you can't put people into university if they don't want to go. And secondly, not every family is going to have a qualified person for university. But your intentions are good, well spoken. And I was told that people are saying, what kind of education you're offering us? When we're hungry, education can't eat. And people are mocking those people. But we must realize that education really can't eat, because those people are speaking the damn truth. Education cannot be eaten. Why they say that? Why they retort to that? Because they are in an existential crisis. Meaning when whatever little money they're earning, they have a choice to make with that money. Do I pay my light bill? Do I buy medication? Do I buy food? Or do I use it to pay my children's school fee? What do I do with that money? During an existential crisis. You understand? They know even though you're sending that you get that child into university, they will have to also contribute to some extent. And that one money there, what are they going to do with it? And then people will be bashing them, that saying, oh, you have no sense, because the minister's trying to get your child into school, into your education at university level. And you're turning it down for food. But let's just not overlook the situation the person is in. It's a real crisis happening in Jamaica. You talk to people, some people are saying, oh yeah, I see the country flourishing. A lot of people saying it's flourishing, a lot of people saying it's not. Where are we? Is that the country's flourishing or it is not? And then these polls that comes out, you got to start to wonder where these polls are taken. How many people have we spoken to? And the people who were talking, are these PMP, did we go into a PMP enclave? Did we go into a JLP enclave? The participators, were they from PMP or JLP enclaves? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to use this opportunity quickly, because I haven't been here for quite some time, but I just want to use this opportunity to reach out to Jamaicans again here and abroad in the diaspora. I'm trying to make some contact with the Jamaican diaspora movements here in America. Honestly, I'm trying to do in America. I'm trying to make some contact with them. I've not gotten through to them not yet, because I'm trying to get through to them. Because even they are at loggerheads right now. Even the organization itself is at loggerheads. So if organization that's outside of Jamaica that should be trying to help Jamaica at loggerheads, the governments in Jamaica are at loggerheads, the people in Jamaica are at loggerheads with each other. Where are we going? What is going to happen to the nation? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube show. Watch what they do. This is critical, this is important, the time has come. The time has come. Watch what they do. There's no way we should sit back, relax, and allow government to continue on the path they're in, because they're taking the country nowhere fast. We are the ones that suffer, and we are the ones that will continue to suffer. Jamaicans, home and abroad, wake up. The time is now. Lennie Robbins, watch what they do. I try to play the music for Cocoa Tea. Box them up. For any one of you who know that song, go look it up on YouTube. Because when we really catch these politicians out of place, lock them up and bring them out of the street, make we box them up. They deserve it. They've taken us for a ride for too long. And by this, we should be too experienced to be taken for a ride. Jamaica, watch what they do. Lennie Robbins, over and out.